the one and only Phil Tippett.
Welcome to the
oh, no. I want to first I want to do something second. Okay, what I want to do first, see if we can make Okay, thank you. And then, when we're done with this, I want to have everybody in the audience ask questions. Oh, okay. No, I can do it. I've done this before. So, anyway, yeah, I'm, lucky to live as long as I have and done all of this stuff. But personally, I put everything in past. I'm really glad that it means something to somebody else. But I always got tired of what I just did. Space monsters, I'm over Star Wars. Robots, over dinosaurs, over. So I'm always looking for the new thing. Sometimes the new thing is thrust on you by technology. So you have to change because you don't have any other choice. And that's just how it works out there, And it got to this point, I don't know how old it is, but back in the salad days when I started working on Star Wars and worked with Lucas and Spielberg and Paul Verhoeven, it was like the Wild West. Nobody knew what the fuck we were doing. And so, nobody fucked with it. And it was a great time. Then eventually it became commodified, and then a bunch of us, like old timers, lost interest. But I was so excited to be accepted into, in the late '60s, Hollywood, because I started working in Cascade Pictures in California, a commercial place, which is our graduate school, because it turned over like really quick. And so you were able to learn a lot of stuff really fast. And so that was just a brilliant time to be in the seat of old historical Hollywood, in the buildings that they were in. And you go to shoot on the lot, and it would be the Buster Keaton stage or the Lon Chaney stage or something like that. And they still had Universal when we were shooting Jurassic. They had a wall on one of the sound stages, and they used for sound baffling one of the walls for Lon Chaney's Hunchback of Notre Dame. And so it's just amazing that you just get through life. Was bumped into something historical, and it was wonderful to be part of that process. And we all look back on it as being so lucky, and so there you go. And then what I was into is like more hand-making things, like stop motion sculpture and designing stuff. And then the computer graphics hit. I was like, whatever. I'm not that into it, but. I had to take those jobs because you either did that or you're totally out of work. And then, if I can be 70 next month, and if you live long enough, things come back around, and you can depend on it. You can absolutely depend on it. And it was something that Paul Verhoeven and Newmeyer knew, making Starship Troopers, was it was going to be another war. That's what we did, and called them misanthropic, but they knew what was going to happen. And when the Gulf War happened, and all the trappings of the Gulf War was, all the bullshit, and the American flag, and exactly what was in Starship Troopers, just the noise about like how wonderful mankind is, and all of this. And, and with me, it's like, if you live long enough, stuff comes back around. And, what, am I out of time? You have that out of time look on you.
No, I don't. I was just saying that if you live long enough, you might even come back to Locarno and get another Vision Award, for instance.
Yeah, I have no intention of leaving. So anyway, it was just, me and all the people from my generation were so happy, but it was weird. I mean, it really wasn't, because you kind of in the back of your mind have a feeling that everything repeats itself if you live long enough. And now, I'm working on a bunch of stuff with Jon Favreau. There's a huge resurgence in stop motion animation now and interest in doing things. And people just got tired of computer graphics. There's some great work that's been done out there, but most of it's like drinking from the fire hose, like Marvel stuff. It's like I'm not familiar with it because I don't watch it. I can't stand it. And but what that allowed me to do is just eliminate theatrical filmmaking from my repertoire and be able to focus on other more experimental and creative things, and that's what this Man God project. How many of you guys out there saw it today? 2. Okay.
Oh, way more than that. Way more than that.
So, I went to the back of the theater with Dan Holt, the composer, and I wanted to shoot, at the end of the thing to see what kind of response it was. And when I went to sit down, there was a family, mother and father, and 2 kids that were around 5 and 6. And I went like, guys, I wouldn't take my kids to this movie. And they were gone in 15 minutes, or 5 minutes. And the wife was going out and said, "You're right." So anyway, that's it. That's my story.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's wait here for your award.
Per fare questo ho il piacere di chiamare sul palco Marina Masoni, la presidente di Cinomoda. Buonasera, benvenuta.
Buonasera Piazza Grande, buonasera a tutti, solo 3 grandissimi grazie. Tre grandi grazie a tutti voi per essere qui, far convivere la piazza e quindi anche un po' tutti noi, al festival per esserci e per aver resistito con una inesauribile capacità durante questi periodi difficili, e a Tippett perché con la sua tenacissima creatività ci ha dato tante emozioni e anche ha saputo riunire e accomunare davanti alle sue immagini tante generazioni diverse. Grazie mille.
Thank you.